All right. So in this one, we got a special Mother's Day edition.
Yes, episode 4, Mother's Day edition. We decided to bring on some special guests. So who did we bring?
The Madres.
The Madres, the moms of Jake and Megan. We decided really kind of last minute. Not last minute, but we kind of sprung it on them. And we had them come, and we're going to ask them some questions and find out a little bit about us when we were kids, hear funny story here and there, and they get a little emotional. They love each other. They love us.
Yeah.
There was a lot. I was like, okay, guys, let's make it funny. And then there was like, we're all serious. No, it was really good. Yeah. And it was fun to sit back and hear their perspective on everything. So we hope that everyone enjoys it.
Yep. Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, so first I want you guys to introduce yourselves individually. We'll start with Gina.
Well, hello. I am Gina, and I'm Jake's mom.
I thought we were going to make them guess.
Oh.
Okay.
We're going to try to make them... No, it's too late now.
Too late. Okay, and I am Kathy, and I am Megan's mom.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Can you give a really brief explanation as to why I don't look like you?
Well, let's see.
Why you look more like Jake's mom, maybe, than mine?
I know.
Like we could be sisters?
Yes, we could be sisters, yeah. And Jake does look like he could be my son. Yeah. But Megan is my daughter, and she looks a lot like my husband. So my husband's Filipino.
All right, awesome. Well, let's start off with going back 30 plus years. You guys are going to have to jog your memories a little.
Uh-oh.
On this special podcast for Mother's Day, if you had to describe each of us as little kids, how would you describe us?
Okay, you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I think the first word that comes to mind for me is sensitive for Jake. Jake has got a huge heart. He always has. He does not like to be the center of attention. And he, just a really, really good giving heart, and very sensitive, a sweet boy. Right. Yeah. He's a good boy, good man.
Yes, he is. Okay, Megan. When I would describe Megan, full of joy. Like always dancing. She would always be wiggling back and forth. She would always have just such an optimistic view on life. And that's just totally encapsulates who Megan is, even now as she's gotten older.
I remember meeting Megan before the two of them ever met, because we all lived in the same area. And I remember seeing Megan. She is a invite everybody in. She's an includer, and she was always that sort of personality. So I'm glad she included Jake.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. She was pretty amazing little girl.
Yeah.
I mean, fun to be the first daughter that we had too. The way she was, just really brought a lot of joy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the hardest thing about raising us as kids? Us individually. What was hard?
I'm so glad I went first last time.
It can be a story, or it can be a general thing.
The hardest thing. I don't feel like it was hard. Well, let's see. I think of something that's funny, but...
we'll do that next.
Oh, really? Because this kind of leads into it. But hard, because Megan would go and she would do therapy, like when she was 2 years old, and she would have these little AFOs, and she'd go out and she'd walk, and she would always want to bend over and pick up a snail, and then she put the snails in her mouth. And I remember going, oh, like, she's eating snails. We kind of laugh about it later, like, okay, like, she has really good taste. She likes escargot. But that was always hard because I want to say, no. But then I'm like, oh, it's so cute that she wants to do that. So just let her be her. And if she wants to pick up a snail, she had it totally like an infatuation with snails. Don't know what it was, but she loves snails.
Yeah. So So for Jake, I think a memory that I have, and he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. For his birthday one year, I brought cupcakes to the classroom, and this is what I mean by him being super sensitive and does not like to be the center of attention. So I bring in cupcakes, everybody's singing happy birthday. It's the first and last time I ever did that because I swear he shrunk in his chair in the classroom because he did not like all that attention. As good as my intention was, it was very embarrassing for him.
Oh.
And he didn't like that, so...
Super cute.
I don't do that anymore. I never did it
Megan
again.
would have been like, woo, it's my birthday.
Yeah. And, the beauty of that is that they bring out the stuff in each other like that. So it's neat.
Okay, so they were anticipating these questions, but what were your thoughts when we were first dating?
You knew those questions were going to come out.
And you can be honest.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
be
see.
honest.
Do I go first or you go first? I think for me, we raised our kids, and it was really during that time where it was kind of kiss dating goodbye and all that. And so we were doing everything as parents that we felt like just raise your children with their love and focus on God, and that God will bring them their mate. And I remember when they first started hanging out, and I remember oh my gosh, how do you navigate this? Because she was the first one. My son had not been dating yet, and Ryan was older. It was oh, and I was okay, well, this isn't dating. Let's not call this dating. Let's just call this we're just spending life together. He's coming over the house and they're hanging out together. But I think then it was oh my goodness, you could see that they just had this really beautiful friendship.
Oh my goodness, he's not going away.
And no, and he wasn't going away. And I was oh, okay. So now, well, let's just open up our home and our family and just welcome into our circle. And maybe that'll be a question later. But I remember my oldest son was Mom, what are you doing? This isn't okay. And I'm no, it's okay. And I remember one day, looking at him, I said, what if? Make me cry. But I said, what if Jake is who Megan's supposed to be with? I don't want to interfere with that. I just want them to be beautiful friends, and let's just see what God does with that. And that is literally what happened. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So I remember when I met Megan for the first time. First, I knew that they were all friends, and I met Megan for the first time, and of course, I fell in love with her. Mm-hmm. And she's beautiful and wanting to help. And Jacob was head over heels in love with Megan. I remember him coming home because you guys were setting boundaries with your daughter, 100%, and him saying, "Mom, I completely understand why people elope." He was just because you had him jump through some hoops to get to her, and nothing wrong with that.
I did?
No, nothing wrong with that. It was good. It was good. I also saw, how I saw how happy he was, and head over heels, true, pure, 100% love. Man, he was in love, and Megan was bringing him to. We were going to church, and he started going to church with Megan, and I saw some beautiful things happen there, and I don't know. I just saw him. Honestly, I had prayed for a long time that God would take my kids and raise them for me. You know what I mean? Like they would go the way that God wants them to go, and that's one of the things I knew was that God was putting them together, and Megan was influencing him in a beautiful, beautiful way, and he was getting more and more involved in church. But I was a little worried because Megan has, a disability, and I was worried about Jake's heart getting broken. And I remember talking to Jake about that and saying, and his response to me was, I was worried that it would hurt his faith. And his response to me was, Mom, he goes, I don't carry my faith within Megan in my hand. My faith is my faith. It's all of it. And Megan's somebody who I love, but my faith is 100% like more than just that. It's not all bottled in with just Megan. It was the full thing. So so I was a little worried about that, but man, they are good together.
Yeah.
They're really good
they're
together.
beautiful together.
Yeah.
That's probably everybody that follows like their podcast. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful testimony of what love looks like and how to love someone selflessly, but like just choose love. Like, and they're just a beautiful representation of what that looks like.
Yeah.
And they truly are a gift to each other.
They
and
are.
that's what's so beautiful to see.
Really, really best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Look at us.
Proud moms. Okay. Do you guys have any funny stories? Lighten it up a little.
Oh.
It can be little kid, teenage years, anything funny.
Gosh, a funny story.
I know we didn't prep you for any of this.
I didn't hear what she said.
Well, I don't want to embarrass you.
No, please do.
Megan's like, please do.
Okay. All right. So, so there's a funny story. So, I won't tell that one. All right. So we were at a hotel once for various reasons, and we were all ordering room service, and everybody was ordering what they wanted. And Jake decided he wanted the filet mignon. So he's on the phone ordering room service, and he reads it filet mignon. And we joke and tease him about that to this day, that he said, and very grown up, I'll take a filet mignon. Mignon? Yeah, it was funny. Anyway, that was just one thing.
Oh, gosh, I'm just trying to think of something funny. Because everything I always think of, it's just like always joy. But something that was funny that Megan did. Oh, this isn't really a funny, but maybe a little bit, because she kind of chuckled afterwards. But it was when I convinced, if everyone knows, I feel like I have the gift of persuasion, and I persuaded Megan to go skiing, snow skiing. And Megan, we're all going up to the mountaintop. We're going to be on the mountaintop together. And they had like adaptive snow skiing where we were. And so I said, okay, Megan, like, and she kept saying, I don't know, Mom, I don't know. Like, what if they dump me and all this? I'm like, oh, they're not going to dump you. Like, let's just go and let's have a good time. And you're going to thank me later. And so we went, and good enough, they dumped her off the ski lift when they were getting off, and she went face first into the snow. And I remember thinking, I just need to get over to her. And I get over to her, and I'm like right in her face in her little furry, jacket hood thing. And I'm like, Megan, and I'm like, it's okay. And she's like, okay, oh yeah. And I said, oh my gosh, you know that they feel so bad right now. They feel horrible. And she's like, I know, it's okay. Like, and I was like, yes, it is okay. Like, you're going to be just fine. I said, no, I can't believe that they dumped you, but they feel really bad right now. So just smile and like make them feel better. Like, and so she was, of course, super, super gracious, but like, oh, but yeah, kind of, I think about the funny parts is like, kind of almost like forcing her, like, you're going to thank me later. Yeah. And then we do things and she's like, you know what, Mom, you're right. Like, thank you for
that's one of the
encouraging
reasons,
me to do that, because it really, I loved it or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons that Megan is as what's the word, like, just will do and try anything. Things don't hold her back, and that's a compliment, I think, to you, because of how you kind of, if it could get done, you did it. I mean, I think she's been on horseback. You've taken her skiing. I mean, there's just a ton. They got engaged while they were snorkeling in the ocean, you know.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
She always felt free in the water. She loves the water. Yeah. So from when she was very young, her first therapy was always like swim therapy. So, and she really thought she was a mermaid. That was back when Little Mermaid was really popular, Disney. And she was like, she thought she was a mermaid. So she'd have little bathing suits with cute little like mermaidy, iridescency stuff, and she'd be like flopping in the water and wiggling, and that was her wiggle. If it wasn't wiggling this way dancing, it was wiggling this way swimming. So I think if she could have ever been anything else, she would have been a mermaid, because she would want to be a mermaid.
Yeah.
She loves to swim.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun when they.
That was sweet when they did that.
They did their,
they had the ring dangling from a fishing
that's
line.
funny story.
That's a good story.
That is a good story.
Jake and Megan out in the ocean.
Yeah, because we're all watching. We went on a cruise together. And so there were about like 19 of us. There was Gina and Ken, and then our family, and then my sisters. And so everyone's watching this because we knew that he was going to propose to her. And he had the he had the ring attached to a piece of fishing line, and it was in the water. And I guess he was pointing.
He was like trying to dangle it and point to
Yes.
it and hold Megan at
And
the
hold
same
Megan,
time.
yes, all of it. Yes, maneuvering all this in the water.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was, but he was pointing, and she was like pointing at like a barracuda that was going by, and he thought she saw the ring. And so all of a sudden, like we thought, okay, we're watching, we're filming. They're going to be out in the water for a little bit. Okay, they're not going to do it yet because he said they're going to get to this point. So we're waiting. All of a sudden, they pop up out of the water, and we're like, oh, and I'm like, oh, they did it already. And it was because Jake thought he was pointing at the ring, but she was pointing at like, look at the fish or look at the shell or something. And so that was kind of funny.
Everybody knew but Megan.
Yes. Yeah, she did. She did not know.
Yeah.
So surprise.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What is it like watching your kids become parents?
Oh, that's pure joy for me. I love it. I love hearing the boys call Jake daddy.
Yeah.
I love them talk, hearing them say that to, Megan, mama. I love that Shai will sneak into bed and sleep with them. I love that. I love watching. I just love watching my son take care of his children. I mean, that's such a beautiful thing. And I like how they parent together. I love how they do it their way. And, that they've blended together and created a parenting style that is right for them. And, I love watching them be parents. It's pure joy for me.
And always what I think is like they are truly a gift to each other. So when I watch how they just are raising the children and like they kind of work off of each other. And that's what's so cool to watch. And
They're good partners.
they're truly partners in the way they raise the children, and just the way they do life. Like they're all, and really learning, like understanding one another and being gracious towards one another and loving one another and with their abilities. And it's pretty cool to watch.
And how they respect each other's strengths.
Yeah.
I mean, they identify what the strengths are that the others have, and then they will even lift each other up with where they may not have those strengths. They're really, really a good partnership. And it's not, marriage is hard. Marriage takes work, and you have to work hard at it. And
you can tell they're so for each
other.
other. Yeah. They're so for each other.
Yeah, they root for each other. They're definitely best friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is beautiful
Yeah.
to witness and to get to be a part of.
Yeah.
Because we get to be a part of
We
their
get to
lives.
see it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
The fruit of that is just beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say since you're co-grandmas and parents and all the things?
CG.
Well,
co-grandma.
yeah,
You
we
guys
are
look like
co-grandmas.
sisters, act like sisters.
Yeah, we do. There's a lot. I mean, depends on how long you want your podcast to be, but because we could talk forever about you all and just it's like
Just life.
Just
you
life,
know?
yeah.
I mean, we are aging ourselves, and we're now
Did you say
grandparents.
18?
18 or something. No, aging.
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you said 18
Yeah,
ourselves.
sorry.
Oh gosh.
And that has its own. That's a whole podcast within itself. But
Yes, it is.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch them, and doing it with you, Kathy, is a real blessing for me.
Doing it with you is too.
Yeah, you're special.
Yeah, you're special. You're special.
You're special.
There we go again. But I thank the Lord all the time.
Yeah.
Just for just what he did and what he saw. The one thing I would share, and I don't know if Megan's ever shared this like with people like publicly, but when Megan was little, and she would always talk like when she'd play and she'd say, well, Mom, when I get older and when I get married and when I have children, and I remember thinking, oh, that's so beautiful, or you've put that in her heart. And honestly, some people would say to me like, do you think that that's like a false hope, or like because they couldn't see it? And I was like, no, Like God's placed that in her heart. Like God is the one who will bring the desires of her heart. So when I watched all of their relationship and their journey and all of it unfold right in front of our eyes, it was like, wow, Lord, you're so big. You are so good. You are so beautiful. And that part of when I just think about what God's done with our children is what's so beautiful. And just the generations and the legacy that, just you've raised a beautiful son.
And you've raised a beautiful daughter.
Thank you. And so now we get to have beautiful grandchildren from it.
Beautiful grandchildren.
And the legacy continues.
Yes.
So, yeah, it is really beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I think I have a grateful heart.
And another one on the way.
Yes. We don't get to say anything else with that, do
Nope. But we're very excited.
we? We are excited. Yes. And at least that was public. We know that it was grandbaby number 3 is on the way.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
more to come.
All right. Well, happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day, Megan.
Megan, we love you.
We love you
Jake.
very much. Mama's Day.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy Mother's
That's
Day.
it. That's a wrap.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that was special.
Nailed it.